Hi, it's Monday again, and another Art Journey page layout day video with Wilna. I don't want to call it an art class because it might give you some tips, but it's really more like an art journey, like I said in my last video. So I'm just priming the page, and I'm showing you this every time because it might be your first time that you watched one of my art journal things. So I'm just using like an old card, and I'm just spreading the gesso really thin, so it really works a lot. It's fantastic because this way you don't have any excess on your page, plus you have that beautifully primed surface to work on. And once you're done, we're going to start. So for this art journal page, I decided to stamp, and I'm also going to use some image transfer. So you just want to let it dry 100%, and that's usually where I get most impatient, and that's why I work on 4 art journals at once, because once while this one is drying, I can take another one and work on it. So I'm using some Tim Holtz stamps that I just bought from Michael's. And a lot of this, some of these stuff I've had in my stash forever. And because I'm always looking at the sale bin, and usually I get stuff at the sale bin and then I just throw it in my box. So when I started thinking of doing art journaling, I went through my whole stash and I pulled out everything that I felt can work really well with art journaling, and these stamps were one of them. You can see that I have some StazOn ink there, and why I love StazOn is because it's pigment based, so you can actually paint over it and your paint won't flow. But this pad of mine is actually dry. I've had it for 5 or 6 years. So I realized, sadly, when I stamped the little bird, that I need to get a new one. And so now I'm also going to do image transfer, and it's a little scripture. It's part of the Grace bundle that you can buy. And I am going to use Mod Podge and just do image transfer. So image transfers are printed in mirror image, especially if you use words. If you just use an image, it's not a problem. But words should be printed in a mirror way. And you know what? Don't do that, what I'm just doing there. Don't add Mod Podge to the top of your words or image transfers. It's not a good idea. I'll never do it again. It's part of my learning curve, because when you start adding water to remove the paper, you have to go through the Mod Podge layer first, and that takes some time. And you have to rub and rub and rub. So don't do that. So paint the page, paint the actual ink part of the image transfer, and then put them together and use your finger to just squeeze out the little bubbles, but don't paint on top of the back of your image transfer. So now you can see what happens when you have ink that actually works. So it's amazing. So for this design, I'm working in the middle of the pages. I'm just going to stamp the bird again. And I don't care if it looks like it's blurry. I don't mind. I just wanted a darker image. So I'm going to work in the middle of the pages and keep my design focused on the middle, so the outer edges will be more for where you can add your journaling. I think. I don't know. The wrong pad again. So yeah, I just have to throw that one away. So that you can see I'm trying it again, and this time it works fine. I think when you stamp on art journals, it will probably be easier to stamp on the part that has the most pages behind it, because it might you don't have any traction there, you can see. So those little frames are also from Michael's, and I used them in another project for craftsy.com, and you'll see it. The class will come out end of April, and it's a really fun project. So once this is done, again, I try to do as much on that page before I have to let it dry as possible. These paper strips are from Studio Calico. Ashley Goldberg designed them, and I feel they're perfect for art journaling. So I'm just going to add them on the sides with some Mod Podge. And then I'm going to let this page dry completely before I carry on. So now I'm spraying the transfer just with a little water, and you can see because of the Mod Podge on the back, there's no traction to just get it off. So it's a very long process, but in the end it did work. But I just had to go over this a lot. So I was hoping to get one corner to give way, and then the rest will give way as well. And I think that's in the end what happened there. I did cut out a big part of where I was trying to get the back to give way, but in the end it started and it worked well. But I won't be adding Mod Podge to the back of my paper anymore. So just gently rub it, and you can add enough water. Just keep a paper towel handy if you need to remove some or dab up some water, then everything will be okay. And there you go. That's how simple it is. And now you can I just spraying it to make sure that most of the debris is gone, and then just a paper towel. And you can see the image transfer worked like a charm. How pretty is that? Right, so once this is dry and your water is dry, you can see I'm drying it with my embossing tool. Then we are going to really start playing with some color. But wait, before we're going to add colors, sorry, I almost forgot this, is we are going to add some texture with some regular gel, semi-gloss, a golden product, and these Tim Holtz stencils. So I'm just using a craft stick, and I'm going to just spread it over the stencil. Now this gel dries completely transparent, or 90% transparent, so you can't really even see what I did there, but it worked wonderful. It's beautiful texture that it created. I don't know if you can really write over it, so I guess we'll see once I started adding the actual journaling to my journals, which I haven't decided to do yet. I don't know, they're just so precious. It's almost like getting new scrapbook product and now you don't want to use it, right? So once this is dry, you'll see the beautiful texture that's going to come out, and then we're going to add some color. I decided to use gelatos, and I'm going to be working with yellow, orange, and pink or red. And this is really some of my favorite color schemes. And you can see I'm using Ashley's pages as a guide. The colors on the art journals as a guide to how I want to do it. And once you actually add some color over the glossy gel, you'll start to see the texture more. Right, and I'm going to add some spray mist, Studio Calico. It's a beautiful pink color, and I always have a little bit of trouble with just a touch of bit and touch of water, and this just makes it a little bit more transparent. And now I'm using a clean dry brush, and I'm just going to paint over it. And I don't know if you can see it already, but you can see some of the texture of the gel there. I love how it's just flowing. And funny enough, I think I waited too long to make the video, so I'm going to be just as surprised as you to see what I did next. So a little bit of acrylic paint, and this is just to blend the edges of the paper with the Ashley Goldberg papers on the journal, so you can see how it blends in. Very light touch. And I think this is where I decided to stop, because and just a couple of more splashes. And because of last week's video, if you watched it, where I totally overworked the page, I was super conscious with this page not to overwork it too much. And now you just want to dry it, and I absolutely love this one. So you can see how you can chase the water drops up and down with your embossing tool. And this is really a fabulous tool to have. I mean, I can't even imagine my life without this tool. Right, and now I'm going to just write with some ink. And again, I'm very nervous. I'm like, what if I make a mistake? But it worked out lovely. I love the scripture, and this is where the words come from. Deeply and gently within. It's Ephesians 3:20 in the Message translation, which I love. And that's it. Voila. So you can print the Deeply and Gently from the Grace bundle. I made a mirror image of it. So at this stage, you probably can just add it as a image transfer to your pages, or you can cut it out, because there's not only a mirror a mirror view, there's actually the right one as well. And you can either cut it out and Mod Podge it on, or you can image transfer it if you want to. So that way you don't have to take the risk to write on your page. And that's what happens when you don't wait for black ink to dry. Okay, so I'm just blending the paper more in, and that's it. It's done. I absolutely love this page, one of my favorites. And thank you so much for watching another art journal journey with me. I have to change the name of this series. I think I'm going to call it Art Journey with Wilna. Art Journey. Yeah, it works wonderful. Hey, Art Journey with Wilna. Anyway, thank you for letting me talk nonsense. And I'll see you next Monday. Bye-bye.